Hey YouTube, Kayak DIY here, and in this very short video I'm going to quickly go over 2 ideas that you guys could use to secure your rod leashes to your rods. So some people will attach rod leashes to these areas on their rods. I have a different method that I like. It might not be for all of you, but I thought I'd share it anyway, just because, well, you know, one man's junk is another man's treasure, you know, same kind of principle. This might not work for all of you, but it works for me. So on these type of rods here where they have the cutout, you could actually wrap paracord around this area and create a loop for an attachment point of a carabiner style rod leash. So if this was a rod leash, you would be able to quickly attach to your paracord. Now this isn't wrapped on here good. This was just for demonstration purposes. I didn't even do a full wrap. But you could do a full wrap here using the method that I actually show in one of my videos, which is about a spear gaff, a DIY spear gaff. If you look in the videos, you'll see how I wrapped a PVC pipe, and you could follow that same method to wrap this area here and create a loop for an attachment point for a rod leash. The preferred method that I have that I really like is simply taking one of these eye screws like this. I prefer to have stainless, not zinc plated, but I worked with what I had at the moment. So what you would do is you simply drill a hole, a small hole, smaller than the threads here, so that the threads can grip. You drill a small hole on the butt end of your rod, and then you would take like a marine based adhesive, or you could use super glue, and super glue the inside of that hole before threading it in, and then thread in your screw eyes. And these have held up very well. I've used this method on my rods for a while now, and it does really work quite well, and it holds up. So if you pretend that this is a rod leash, you have a quick attachment point. So there you have it, 2 quick methods for attaching to your rods. Another thing I quickly would bring up is if you are finding out that you are quickly having to detach your rod leash from your rod a lot, and that irritates you, but you still want to protect your rod, another thing you could do is attach your rod leash to a float. This is a float made out of a Nerf noodle and PVC, but if you had this attached to the rod leash, you could still freely pick up your rod whenever you need to. And yet if your rod were to go overboard, you would still have a method of getting your rod back, because this Nerf noodle is plenty of buoyancy to be able to float this rod. I have already tested this, and I have found that this size Nerf noodle was still enough to be able to float this. You can also use the jet ski anchors or the kayak anchor floats, and you can attach them to your rod leash as well, and that will give you access to your rod quickly without having to detach all the time. So just another thing to think about, and thought I'd share with you guys. Hopefully you enjoy this. I realize it might not be for everyone, but this is something that has worked for me. This is my preferred method.